back in there, you'd have to dig it out with the hook. There's like a tablecloth, the whole thing of oil. When you get the oil filled, the idea, and it just it goes like this, and then when you close the other side, it pulls tight. And there's
very nice.
And there's a magnet on this one that kind of holds it down. So that's basically how that works. It's stuck.
There you go. Get them even.
I almost seldomly use the.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, I see the instructions for the legs.
Yeah, it goes a little lax there, and then you tighten it back up.
The one thing is when you extend it, or when you're putting it back.
Ooh, spider.
When you're putting it back, just make sure these are loose so that the legs can slide all the way.
Yeah, into the little protector right
here.
here.
And then when you push in like that, it'll snap.
Nice.
Snap in. And I just fill it. I just put it in there and fill it up, and when it starts to overflow, that's when it's full. There's not really any other way to.
City and tank.
Yeah.
Gotcha. This is generator, furnace.
I mean, I don't think it's.
That pops off for plumbing.
What I want to do is see this little trap door thing. Run it up through that. Here, I'm gonna pull this out. I don't want to pull this out, but packed in here. I almost should not have all this shit packed in here. When you pull things out, I've done this. I'm just gonna tell you some of the mistakes I've made.
Sure.
When I pulled these things out, I've accidentally pulled up on the lever.
Oh,
like the hose will get caught on the lever.
Okay. That's the
and
hose
then when
right
you
there.
go to, and then even if you shut it,
it's the release.
if you go to shut it and then you go to take this off, you still got some piss and shit that like fell down in there. So if that does happen, what I'll do is I'll take like a plastic bag and kind of slide it up underneath. So when I do take that lid off, that it at least falls into the plastic bag and not like into the
Nice.
can.
Yeah, that's
and
smart.
that's the other reason why you have to run this up to connect it. You gotta run it up. So you basically run it up through here and then untwist that and connect it to there. Because I think the first time I did it like that.
Yeah.
And then when I went to take it off,
it
was
dumped
like,
some.
It dumped back in.
Yeah.
It dumped a little bit back in. So
Yeah, you definitely want gravity to work in your favor on that one.
Yeah, so you don't.
Nice.
And then I just use this gray water. Or this gray hose. There's normally a spigot at the dump places. I'll take this hose and I'll connect it to this wand thing, and I'll go inside. And this wand thing, it'll spin, and it'll kind of wash the inside of it.
Yeah.
The tanks are hard to keep clean. Periodically, what you'll want to do, if you do some like a Google search or a YouTube search, there's like techniques that guys do use. Like they'll put like half a bottle of like not laundry detergent, dish detergent. Like dish detergent and a couple bags of ice, and then fill the tank so that like between the dish detergent and the heavy ice,
the friction,
it'll agitate it and like knock off particles and break up particles. Because a lot of times what happens is like toilet paper or shit will get stuck on the sensors, and you'll get a false reading, like whether it's full or not. Like, it'll say it's half. You'll dump it and you'll go look, and it's saying it's half full. It's probably just a piece of like toilet paper or something stuck on the sensor.
Gotcha.
So it's a lot of time it's not going to tell you. Most of the time, it's not going to say that it's full. It's 220.
Oh, cool. We got the
220.
Yeah.
More fuses on this side. If you guys fill up over here, where I go to is the U-Haul over on Midway.
Oh yeah. It's like right between Midway and.
There's like a it's almost like kind of on the split right there.
Yeah, we know where that is.
So if you go there and you take a left in there, and then there's also some up underneath there.
Fuses.
For the drive.
Nice.
I think that near the gas pedal too. Isn't that a battery disconnect for like long-term storage?
This thing?
That red thing.
Yeah.
I want to say I saw that on YouTube about these.
Maybe it is.
I believe it's for
that would have been actually good to know.
If you I just saw it on YouTube, and it looked just like that. Yeah, if you store it for months.
I didn't use it for maybe it might have sat for a couple 2-3 months. It's underneath.
No shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had to research that. So Yeah, there's some weird things that aren't normal that you gotta kind of like refer to get enough juice for it to kick over.
Nice.
So plan on the car sitting there kind of idling for about 20 minutes or so before you can like actually get it.
It makes sense.
Definitely. Jump start.
That's fun.
These lower compartments, all the ones that have like the silver, there's only 2 that have like the little silver round thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's that, and then this. So that's these 2. So these are the 2 exteriors. The 2 gold keys are for this. Mm-hmm. So the round one goes for this one, and then the square one goes for this one.
Very nice.
I typically only just do one or the other. I don't do both.
Yeah, unless you're parking in Oakland, right, Mike?
If you flip it back, it takes a little while for it to go off, just because the what is it, that liquid shit in there that needs to like kind of figure out what the temperature is. It takes a second to figure it out.
Yeah, takes a few seconds.
So here's your rocker for the in and out.
The slide.
On the slide, your water pump. There's no water in it right now. Is there water? No water.
So if I'm boondocking,
we can put some water in it right now if you want.
but say we're pulling up to like boondock desert camp, we would like come back here and turn on like the water pump.
I would just turn on the water pump.
Or only like when you really need it, I guess.
I just turn it
work?
on.
Okay.
I just turn it on, leave it on. I don't turn it off until I get back. And then test levels.
Yeah.
This will tell you, okay, you got full battery, full gas. Your fresh water is empty. Your gray water is at 1/3. And this is at 2/3. It might need to be dumped.
Yeah, maybe we'll go do a test run of that.
Water heater. If you turn on the water heater, it takes like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Not too long. Like 20-30 minutes if you're going to take a shower.
And then what's that
You know
one?
what?
The
I don't
tank
know.
heater?
I don't know what that was. I don't know if it's got a separate, because when I turn this one on, that turns on too. I couldn't never quite figure out what the 2 heater switches were for. That's just lights.
Right.
I mean, look, you got lights kind of all over the place. Anywhere you
So
see
all
it.
these outlets are running off of
Solar?
No.
the house batteries, or off of what?
They either have to have the generator on or plugged
Or
in
the
the
shore
shore
power.
power.
Okay.
Because of like amperage issues. Like if somebody plugs in a toaster, or a woman plugs in their hair dryer, that's really high amperage, and
Yeah.
you could blow fuses because it's not rated for that. But
And then
if
you
put an inline, if you put an inline inverter in,
Yeah.
then you could do that,
Yeah, that's
because
right.
the inverter would protect it.
You remember he said that in the
Yeah,
cigarette
and
plugs?
the cigarette plugs though do work
see,
off
this
the
one
house
has
batteries.
a cigarette plug and a plug in the back. So
Okay.
So if you use that inverter and plug it into that cigarette plug, you can run this.
Tony.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You
That,
can run this without the generator on. That one in the front is already plugged into one of the
the TV.
It's plugged into the
yeah.
It's
Okay.
plugged into a converter, so that TV will run without the.
Oh, this TV up here. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the cigarette ones back here are through the house battery and solar,
Yeah,
and I can check that on the charge controller on my phone, I believe. Very cool.
Yeah, and then the bungee's just to keep that thing there when you're in.
when we're drive mode.
Yeah, when you're in drive mode, you can.
Oh, nice. Ah, that's great to know we can use that without
Yeah,
the generator.
Coffee.
Light right here.
To
What, that big switch right there, or what?
yeah, that big switch will cut it. But you know what? I just leave it on because it's got solar, so it's constantly charging it anyway.
Nice.
So there's not really any need to turn that off.
Okay.
Nice.
I just leave that. Leave that
Lights
on.
up there.
So you just gotta hold it until it fires up.
Awesome.
And then when you shut it off, you just have to press it once, and it shuts down.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very often, but you also, if you're traveling around, the truck stops and stuff will have it.
Okay.
For the most
RV
part.
toilet paper
Yeah,
specifically.
RV or boat toilet paper, and then I also buy these things. They're like, I don't know. There's like some sort of bacteria that eats up or breaks down the paper and the poop and stuff, and kind of helps deodorize.
Very nice.
So I just take one of these little pods and I throw it in there. Put a little bit of water. If the tanks are completely empty, I put a little bit of water in there just so that it'll kind of help break it down. Down here like this, just so that I'll fill this up. If I'm going to go number 2, I'll fill this up a little bit with water.
Yeah.
Just so that it kind of has like more way to go down.
Ah,
Instead of
okay.
clumping up on
And then
this.
when you're done, if you made a mess, you can use this to spray
Very nice.
it down.
Nice.
Rather than using that scrubber and then you got shit on your scrubber. You know, it's just.
Nice. No, that's smart.
So this is I didn't figure this one out until like a year ago. I was like, you know what I could do? I could use this to like
Yeah.
on.
You
But
can see it opening.
And that'll work without the generator on?
yeah.
Ah, that's right.
Oh yeah,
That's
I
cool.
love it.
So
And
that's
you
just
can change like the temperature, and you can turn the fan off if you want, and just have that open. But I always just leave it like that.
yeah. These
Like
don't
if
use
I come
much
in
power.
and I take a shower or take a dump,
Yeah.
then I turn it on just so it suck all the air in the.
I can feel the wind blowing back there already.
Yeah,
It
that's
does.
intense.
It's actually nice when it's hot because
Yeah.
it'll suck all the hot air
And there's
out.
another one, or another opening at least.
Yeah,
Other than
that's the skylight.
that's right.
If for some reason it goes off, maybe first thing to check. This is a fuse. You can
Yep.
check this fuse for some reason. If it goes off,
and then you just flick it and it'll close and turn off and do everything.
and then all of these have that kind of thing like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. It's like 3 windows in one.
Sometimes these things like they don't want to retract. Like if it gets too dusty or something. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll get one of those WD-40 cans with a little nozzle, and I'll just do a couple little spritzes in the corners, because I think what happens is the little rollers get a little bit corroded, or the springs get a little corroded. But like I said, the more you use things, like see, it's already working better.
Yeah.
The more you use things, like it seems like it.
Yeah.
It tends to keep working.
right.
Or put seatbelts on. I already showed you that. Obviously, that's got to be the generator or shore power's got to be on for the vacuum.
vacuum.
to work.
Yeah.
So that goes like that. There's just like a little.
Oh yeah, little clamp. Yeah.
It's just one of those little latchy things.
Oh shit.
So that
Nice.
goes down.
Ah.
Boom.
And then he's just got to kind of squeeze.
Oh, I see what you mean now. Got the concave.
That could be good, kind of. The bed in my van isn't so snug, and
But
they
once you put
move
a blanket-
around.
I mean, it just holds them in better.
Yeah.
But it's just weird because it doesn't just go in super easy.
Nice.
So and there's and then there's a lever underneath the front here.
Gotcha.
Not the there's 2 levers. There's one to scoot the chair forward, but then there's an actual lever where you lift it up and
Boom.
give it a twist.
There's extra stool there. Trash can.